If you have a lot of daily transactions in your business, or you're getting caught up on several months worth of bookkeeping, then it may not be very practical to manually enter each transaction. In that case, you can use the PDF import option, and this works with statements from checking accounts, savings accounts, and credit cards. Big asterisks on that. I have not yet tested this with statements from all of the big 5 banks in Canada because I have only had access to statements from a couple of them. So it is possible that when you try it, something goes a little bit wonky. Maybe it's putting the wrong transaction amount with the wrong transactions, or 2 or more transactions are getting smushed into one line. If that happens, no worries, just send me an email and I can get it working for you. Every bank formats their statements a little bit differently, and I've only been able to test for what I actually have access to. That being said, let's get into how it actually works. You're going to scroll all the way over to the end of the tabs on the bottom until you find Transaction Cleanup. Click on that. Once you're on this sheet, it should be blank. If there's any data already here, if you'd used it in the past, I would suggest just cleaning that out first. So if you hit Command A or Control A on a non-Mac computer, that should highlight everything. Then you can just hit Delete and that'll get rid of everything on the sheet for you. So starting from a blank sheet, you're going to go to Import Statements and then choose PDF. Now, if this is the first time you have used this function, it's going to run you through a short authorization process. You only have to do this one time. Once the script has been authorized, it won't bring this up again for you. So first, it's going to bring up this little window here that says authorization is required. And what you're authorizing is that it's allowed to show a window in the side of the screen here on your web browser. That's the interface for uploading your statement. And then also to upload the PDF from your computer, and then it runs some processes on it in the background where it's extracting the text from the PDF and then organizing it into information that can be put neatly into this sheet here that you can then copy and paste over into your monthly overviews. So it's just automating setting up the date, description, and the amount that was either charged to your credit card or deposited into your account or withdrawn. So we're going to hit OK. And then it's going to bring up this really scary, dramatic looking warning. You'll notice that the developer, this has my email here because I'm using this in my Google account, but in yours, instead of my email here, it will show your email. So it's saying, oh, you're the developer. That means none of the information is leaving your Google account. None of this is being uploaded to a different place. It's not being sent to me. All of it stays within the ecosystem of your Google account. The reason that this warning pops up is that I haven't gotten my script that handles the processing of the text from your PDF statement verified by Google yet. It's a bit of a process to do so, and given that I haven't yet been able to test the script with statements from all of the big 5 banks, it is very likely that I will need to make further changes to the script, and then I'd have to resubmit my code and start the whole process all over again. So to avoid doing that a bunch of times, I'm going to hold off on getting the script verified for now until I have tested with statements from all of the big 5 banks in Canada, and then I'm going to do the verification process. If it does make you nervous, that's totally fair. You don't have to use the PDF import for the Canadian Small Biz Bookkeeping System to work. And if you'd still like to bulk import your transactions, there is a way to do that from a CSV file, which you can get from your bank. It's a little bit more complicated, but I do have instructions on how to do that as well. So although it brings up this really scary looking warning, I promise it's fine. There's nothing fishy going on here. But to keep moving forward, we need to click on Advanced, and it's going to say, continue only if you understand the risks and trust the developer, which will be your email here. And then you're going to click on Go to Auto Categories for Bookkeeping. It labels it as unsafe. It is not. Click on that. And then it's going to bring up a further screen that says, oh, it wants access to your account. Again, I am not accessing your account. It's your own account is doing things within your account, which is totally fine. We're going to click here, select all, and just as a quick overview, what you're allowing access to is that your own account can view and manage spreadsheets that are in the account. That's fine. And then display and run third-party web content in prompts and sidebars. That's the upload interface that will show on the side. You'll see that in a moment. So you're going to say, okay. Then you scroll down and click continue. So to do the actual import, you're going to first of all select which type of statement it is. So whether that is a bank account statement, so checking or savings, or a credit card statement. And it is important that you select the right one, just because the way that the transactions are listed on the statement is a little bit different if it's an account statement or a credit card statement, whether it shows it as like a money coming into the account or money going out of the account, whether it's positive or negative. The one I'm going to show you as a sample isn't a bank account statement, so I'm going to select that. You do not need need to select debug mode. That's just there for me, and I can remove that in future versions when it's no longer needed. And then I'm going to select my PDF. Open that up. And once it's uploaded the file, you'll see the file name over here, and then you can click import. And then you'll just need to give it a moment. While it's working, it'll say processing PDF, and then it'll show you how many transactions that it imported. This was an old statement of mine, so that's why it says 2019. If it gets stuck on processing for a long time, like more than a couple of minutes, it's probably crashed. It probably got stuck. Maybe the PDF was too big, or just something happened. The upload got interrupted. Close the window out. Use the little X there to close it, and then reopen it, go back through import statements and open the window again. Try it again. It probably just had something go wrong. If that's happening repeatedly, send me an email, let me know. I can help you troubleshoot that. But once it's successfully imported its transactions, you can close this out. And then the next thing to do is to organize the transactions into what were deposits and what were withdrawals. So because this was from a checking account, I have both. So I'm going to place a line in between the first transaction that are different. So these ones were all withdrawals, and this was the first deposit. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert a row above. If you didn't want to do it that way, you can also just go find an empty row and drag it up. Like that. You can drag and drop these around all you like. And then I'm just going to start organizing these. So I'm just going to move all of the withdrawals up top and leave all of the deposits down at the bottom. Just because when I copy and paste them over into the monthly overview sheets, I want them separate because we have a section for our withdrawals and a section for our deposits. All right, I'm going to take a moment to finish that so you don't have to sit there and watch me drag and drop these around, and I'll be right back. Okay, so these are all organized now. So they're ready to copy and paste over into my monthly overview sheets. Here's a good tip. Don't do it this way. Don't select them like this, where you're selecting also all of these cells beyond. That's just going to cause problems when you paste it into the monthly overview sheet. So instead, I just click my mouse in the first cell, and then I drag it over while I'm keeping that mouse clicked, and then I'll release when I get to the last cell that I want to include. So from there, I find it easiest to use your keyboard to do the copying. So if you're on a Mac, you'll go Command-C. If you're on a non-Mac computer, you'll do Control-C to copy, and then we'll take it over to our monthly overview sheet. So these transactions were for June, so I'm going to go to June, and these were deposits. So I will select the first cell that's empty in the deposits log, and then I will do either Command V or Control V to paste it. And then we'll give the script a moment. It'll go through, it'll do its thing, it'll run its calculations, and there we go. So when I check my report up top, I can now see my income up here. And then same thing for the withdrawals. Go back over to the cleanup sheet, and then I'm gonna use my mouse again. I'm gonna select my withdrawals. I'm on a Mac, so I'm gonna Command-C, but if you're on a non-Mac, Control-C. Then going back to my sheet, then I can put these ones in the withdrawals log. And I haven't set up any rules for these ones. This is just a demo sheet, so nothing will happen in terms of the script, but that's how I paste them over. I could then go through and manually set what these are. But if you had rules set up, the sheet would do it automatically for you. One last step is to go back to that transaction cleanup sheet. And once you're done, do either Control-A or Command-A. You might need to do it twice to select everything, and then just delete and clear everything out of the sheet, and then it's ready for the next time. So then if I wanted to import another statement, I'd just go back to that import statements menu, and because I had already authorized the script to run, you can see this time I didn't have to go through that whole process. And then let's say I wanted to import a credit card statement now, and then I would do the same process. I would choose my file. I don't actually have a credit card statement downloaded, so I'm not going to import it because it'll do it wrong here, but that's how you would do it, and then you could start all over again. So this can save you a little bit of time. Yeah, if you're getting caught up on bookkeeping and you need to go back through a couple of months, you can just download your statements from your bank account and import them. I do find it easiest to just do it a month at a time, since you do have to copy and paste them into the monthly overview sheets. What I could do is I could import, let me show you what happens. So I can import the statement and I'll bring them in. And then if I do it again, it'll just add on to the bottom. So you can keep just uploading more statements, but then the problem is because you've got to import them into the monthly sheets, you then have to separate it by month, as well as separate out the withdrawals and the deposits. So I just find it easier to just do it a month at a time. But it can save you some time if you've got a lot of transactions to go through every month, or you're trying to get caught up. Doing it this way could be faster for you. Personally, I actually like manually entering my transactions by hand every day. I like going through on a daily basis and just keeping on top of the business finances and where it's at and seeing how cash flow is looking for the month. But I can appreciate that not everybody is as obsessed with bookkeeping as I am and don't find it very fun or interesting. So I do recommend going through your business finances at least once a month just to see how things are going and where you were at. And so if you're doing it on a monthly basis, super easy. You can just go grab that PDF statement from your bank, do the import, and then copy your transactions over and see how things are looking. And that's how your PDF import works. Remember that if it's not quite working, if something's going a little bit wonky when you're doing that import, don't panic, just send me an email and I'll get it fixed for you. And if you have any questions about the process, also send me an email and let me know.